And welcome race fans to the Rangiart Tuesday night, a spectacle of pure Australian muscle right here in the heart of the desert. Today we are bringing the raw, unbridled spirit of the V8 Brute Utes to the world-class Marina circuit. Underneath these dazzling floodlights, the legendary rivalry between the Ford Falcon and the Holden Commodore is about to be reignited. On one side, we have the Ford Falcon. On the other side, we have the Commodore. These aren't your everyday tradie tool Utes, people. These are 1.8 ton machines built for aggressive wheel-to-wheel combat. Today they'll be taking on technical challenges of the North Corkscrew circuit. Nope, that's not correct. They're doing the GP circuit, people. They'll have to navigate the high turn camber corkscrew, hold off the nerve into turn 7 hairpin right beneath the Abu Dhabi Hotel. With history of a Larkin, these Utes are nothing but that. This will be serious racing. So prepare yourself for the thunder of the V8s as they scream. Ford vs Holdens. It's Brute Utes at the Marina. Drivers, start your engines.
What an intro. Thank you, Dean Hanley, for that one. I am Peter Clark and welcome to the V8 Brutes here for the Rangiart series. And as you may have figured out from that, we are at the iconic Marina circuit, and this is going to be one interesting round. You've got a very high grip circuit with very low grip cars, as we're just looking now with Josh Sadler getting it right out sideways in the final dying stages of this practice session. So how are we, Dino? It is going to be one hectic night.
Mate, this is going to be a big night. Like it always is with these Rangiart Tuesdays, the times of these guys, I mean, there is not a lot between them. I believe Andre snuck into the 210s in practice. That is impressive. But as we look up and down the field, I mean, we have to get to around 12th position before we get into the 14. So we're talking, you know, four seconds, mate. Not even 4 seconds. These guys, there's tight times all up and down the field. This one is going to be on.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the biggest circuits I reckon we've gone to so far this season, if not the biggest circuit as well. So the fact that we're only that much of a field spread is just wonders to the quality of the drivers that we've got in this series, because these are cars that where if you're not on it, you can lose a lot of time. But at the same time, if you're really on it, you can just extend the gap, if you kind of get my drift here. Like, there is so many corners around here, as we just saw through. There are different racing lines, different ways you can attack the corners. Do you go for trail braking? Do you go for straight braking? There's just so many different options now. I think that's what's going to make this circuit fantastic tonight here in these V8 Brutes, because it's going to open up the drivers to different strategies and different ways that they can go about getting their lap time. Because so far this season, we've been to more traditional racing tracks where there's no room for error. You've got grass or a concrete barrier, whereas here, this is the first time we've got some concrete runoff. So expect the drivers to be really pushing these limits.
Definitely, mate. I mean, around this track is super hard. And I tell you what, Pete, I've got a sneaky little track preview for us, mate, with the one and only Andre Elliott. Would we like to have a look at that?
Yeah, let's take a gander at that, shall we?
Let's have a run through, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is, Dre, the man himself.
Alright, welcome round 4 of the Brutes from the lovely Marina in Abu Dhabi. Let's go for a lap. Onto the front straight. Up through the gears, then hard on the brakes down to third. Tucking it in tight so we don't overrun the exit. Tricky complex here, little lift, and then this fast right, easy to get sideways and lose plenty of time or slide off the track. And into the corner where Max ended Lewis's reign. Second gear and onto the front straight, back straight, flat out, right up the 6th gear. Going to be a great opportunity for some drafting and overtaking into the braking zone at the end. Brake about the edge of the ripple strip, hard on the brakes down into second. And then the second straight down the back here. Possibly some more good opportunities for passing into the big sweeper at the end. Which is awfully tricky. Gonna kill some tyres around here. And into the technical section at the back. Little tap on the brakes, down a gear for the section, line us up for the final corner. Hopefully you get a good exit. Nice run down the front straight, get a bit of time.
Oh, and Pete, I mean, how was that? A lap of the track with the master himself, Andre. As I said before, he's done a 2:10 in practice, so this man absolutely on fire.
Yeah, he really is, and with that on-track preview, you can really tell as well that just doing that, he wasn't holding back either. There's so many moments where the car just kind of start getting away just a little bit with how unweighted these are, especially on the rear end, because unlike most other race cars, you've got a bit of downforce on the rear. These cars have absolutely nothing. The only thing that's put some weight on those rear tires is the fat fuel tank that they've got hidden inside the tub of the Utes. Apart from that, though, there's nothing keeping those tyres to the ground, so these cars extremely grip limited, but we're not too far away from a qualifying session here, so this is going to be interesting.
Oh, this is going to be tight. I'm expecting a few of the guys to come through tonight. The field is ever expanding, and I tell you, the drivers we have in here, I mean, wait till you see the list of drivers, people. This is going to be hardcore racing at its very finest. I mean, Andre's going to try and give it a go here. Hang on a minute, people. We've got some server. Nope, we're back up and running. Here we go. So we've got some real class drivers there. We're just having a look at Cole Elliott exit. Of course, we can't see him because the runoff there, that's coming down from underneath the track. You go underneath the track out of the pits and back onto the track. But I mean, this is going to be all on for young and old. But I am expecting big things from the Rangiart guys tonight. I know they've all put a little bit of time in here. So these guys have been doing sneaky practice all over the shop. So I'd expect to see numbers drop, Pete.
Yeah, especially with the likes of Andre Elliott. You know, we know he's done the practice because he's given us that brilliant track insight, you may call it, with that onboard lap that we just watched before. But one driver that you did mention just before, Cole Elliott, he finally had a really good round once more. He had a good opening round of the championship at Road Atlanta. It was a little bit off form at Ruakuna, but then back on form last time around in the Enduro. If you did miss it, we did a 1 hour Enduro around Donington, so that was absolutely balls to the wall racing for that entire hour, and we saw a few split strategies with that one as well, which really spiced things up in the racing department. But he is now sitting in 8th position in the championship and jumped up back inside the top 10. So he's going to be looking to try and further his progress this time around.
Definitely, mate. The guys are going to have a look. I mean, while we've got a second here before proceedings kick off, let's have a look at the driver standings. Fabian, he's out in front there. We've got Andrew Ferguson. He's not far behind. He's pushing for it. Jason in 3rd with 270 points and Dion in 264. Then Ezra. Andre, now he'll be expecting big things tonight. Tommy Corks, Cole Elliott, Andre's junior there, doing a great job getting himself up in 8th. Remo and Ward. That is a top 10 to behold.
It really is, and it is going to be absolutely fantastic racing because you've got guys, like you've just got so many big names at the moment that are trying to further progress their championship standings, because a few of the guys at the top of the standings, for example, Fabian Fitness, he did not have a good road Atlanta, and you could see that highlighted red. So their worst round of the season as to date is highlighted in red, so we can kind of really see where a points loss could have come during the season. But oh my god, look at all the traffic going down the main straight. They've got such a large circuit and they've all decided to go out at once. This is going to be chaos.
This is going to be chaos. I mean, come on, boys. Everyone needs to give you a little bit of space here. You need to open up, just give yourself a bit of position to lay down that lap. Now's probably a great time to go through the field. Let's have a look who we've got. We've got Cole Elliott. We've got Paul. We've got Elliott Sr. We've got Astrop. Grand. McFadden. Priest. There's Rob. Go for it, mate. Sadler. Joshy Sadler. Brown. Oh, that's a beautiful looking car. It almost looks like a safety car. We've got Hollyoak. There he is, the holy tree himself, Liam. Let's see if he can shake things up tonight. He's got it in him to have a good round. Fergo. Now, Fergo we've seen before. He is a proven racer, this man. Sullivan. Crowther. He's a bit of a danger man in that thirsty camel. Bensley. Sam there with the AMP. Mate, go get him, mate. Get him. We've got Johnson. Salmon. Hare. Rogers. Buck, good on you, Buck. Gorksy can also be a very dangerous man. This man doesn't really need an introduction. Fitness, I expect him to be getting up the field there. Kingy, he's in there for a first run, or it might be second run. I think he was in there last week. He'll be looking for a result tonight. And Clerk, Dion, there he is, the man himself. So there's a high caliber in this field. The Tuesday's really starting to turn it on for talent, Pete.
Absolutely. We've got plenty of drivers up and down the grid that have won championships in our other series here on Sensational TV. Most notably, Fabian Fitness, your current reigning Wednesday Cup champion. But he is looking to try and put his name down in something with a little bit more horsepower than a TVR Tuscan. This time around in the Wednesday Cup, though, currently running Geminis. So he's got in 2 nights in a row very polar opposite cars to be driving, which just shows you the talent caliber that we've got here in the Tuesday night racing here for Rangiart. But Cole Elliott setting the lap times alight straight away with a 2:11.9, but immediately eclipsed by the other Elliott of Andre. We saw him put down a good lap in the pre-show for the hot lap around this circuit, and look at that, 11.4 straight off the bat.
Mate, how quick is that? And then Fergo on the heels there, nearly jumping into the 11s. Not sure if he got into the 11s in the practice server, but I tell you what, he'll do it here. Remo, not far off pace either. He's in 4th there with a 2:12.9, and then McFadden, he's with a 2:12.9 too, with just a bee stick off him. So this is tight. Fitness with a 13.5. He'll be trying to lay down a lap time, but I tell you what, the guys will absolutely have their hands full with this track. The sliding, I mean, the laps I've done around here with the guys, the sliding of the cars is something that is so hard to control. They just want to kick out, it just wants to get loose. Those slow corners, an absolute killer. Where Andre's coming into now, as you go into this left-hand corner, you're doing no speed. This right hand, you're doing no speed, and you cannot jump on the gas 1 iota too much, or you are just all over the road. And Pete, I don't think I've seen anything tank slap like these ones.
Yeah, and especially because they're Utes, they've got a slightly longer wheelbase than your average race car as well, which just makes them that little bit harder to control, just to add on to the challenge of these vehicles. What you would consider a real driver's car. You've got very little to assist you with driving the car. You've got very little assistance with the steering, with the braking, with the throttle control. There's not too much to these cars. It's pretty much just your bog standard V8 Ute with a roll cage added in on some racing tires, and you just send them as hard as you can, which that's exactly what makes them so fun. But like through this section, as you just said, turn 6 and 7, you've got to be so easy on it as well. Like you have to turn it in. You've got to use the curb. That will help the car turn in, and once again, using the curb. But then this stuff here, as we witnessed through the windshield there, if you get on the gas while you're still on the ASHRAE turf on the exit, you're just going to crank it out sideways, and then that ruins your entire run through to this next very flowing new turn 9. We've had this a layout since 2021, and I must say it's definitely improved the racing, but I kind of liked the old one when you still had the chicane towards the end of the lap there going through turns 9 because that really added up a couple of opportunities to try and go for crisscross moves. You can send an extra dive bomb down the inside. So I reckon it's improved the flow of the racing, but I'm a little bit old school. I kind of like the old one still.
Yeah, mate, I'm a bit partial to the old school too. A bit partial to the way I am. I'm a bit old school and loving that. But while we were talking then, mate, Elliot, a 2:10.9, so he's replicated that. He's got into the 10s in quali, and what a time to do it with just under 2.5 minutes to go. Andre really turning it on now, and then, I mean, what a remarkable result. He's a young fella, Elliot Jr., bang, in second place with the 2:11.6. I'm not sure guys are going to be able to get close to that. There's going to be a push. I would have expected a little bit more from Banana Man. He's just leaving the pits now. He's going to try and get onto it. Maybe he's had a couple of bananas himself. He'll be ready to go there. So, I mean, all up and down the field. Astrop, it's the usual suspects. Astrop in 4th, Brown in 5th. Brown's sitting in the pits at the moment. He's just called it, trying to get a setup going on. Remo in 8th, and bang, we've got a mover, and it's Tommy Corks. Who else would it be?
Yeah, absolutely. Now 3/10 it is that he needs to find. If he wants to try and split the Elliott guys and get himself onto the front row of the grid, or if he wants to try and go for the pole position, he has to find an entire second to eclipse what Andre has done. So he's got some time to find, but he's got enough time. He'll be able to do this lap, so he has to make sure this one is going to be a good one. If he wants to do that, he won't have the time to go around for another one, and people like Zach Brown, who are currently sitting inside the pit lane, they're not going to get another lap, so that's going to be the same with Johnson and Rogers as well, not getting another lap in. So let's see how this one plays out, because pretty much nearly everyone, except for those currently in the final sector, will be on their last lap.
Definitely, mate. I tell you, a bit of a surprise for me at the moment. Oh, Andre's gone faster again, but I can tell you, just as a quick back to that, a quick update, Lee Crowther. I expected him to be up there in 21st at the moment, so I am expecting to see a lap being laid down. As I look to the top of the tower, though, Astrop, he's pulled it into the pits, and he has gone into 3rd position. He's eclipsed Corks' time, so that man was absolutely on fire. He's laid down a lap and gone, that's it. We're at 30 seconds to go now. I'm not sure how much more changes we're going to see here, Pete.
Yeah, unless people are really putting in a absolute flyer of a final lap now with only 20 seconds left on the clock, I would almost say, because the gap is now, if anyone, so Tommy Corks is the next closest to try and get himself onto the front row at the very least. He still needs to find, what's that going to be? 4/10, nearly half a second he has to find to get himself onto the front row. It's only 0.05 of a second though, if he wants to get himself back up to the 3rd position where he just was before Ostrop took that away from him.
Yeah, and it's not an easy task here. Salmon with the great results, just popped that up to 8th position. Has anyone got anything to knock him off? These guys getting quicker and quicker every week. And then we go to McFadden. McFadden's trying to lay down a time here. Is he about to cross? No, he's not about to cross the line. I got a glimpse there and thought he was close. Bang!
Oh, there we go.
Corksy pops it into 2nd place. We're going to get a drift for that. You think he's happy with that? He is happy with that time. Mate, I
think that is a very, very good lap, because, as I said, it was at least half a second needed to find, and he has well and truly smashed that. That was about a 7/10 improvement from to get himself up into 2nd position, but Alice Cole Elliott now, he needs to respond here. He has to find 0.2 of a second if he wants to take that position back. Are we about to see a Elliott front row lockout, or has Tommy Corks spoiled the party for the guys here? We'll have to find out in just a moment as he crosses the line. What is this lap going to do? And he can't do it. There was no improvement. So Tommy Corks is on the front row of the grid with Andre Elliott, unless there's someone like Ferguson, who I think might still be on a lap as he comes around the final corner now. How is this lap going to play out? He's using all the exit at the final corner, crosses the line. And is this going to be an improvement? No, it's not. It was a slight improvement on the lap time, but wasn't a improvement on position. And that's Simon's now just going up into 13th as well. So we've got a few movers, but no one really, I don't think, is going to be challenging towards the front anymore.
No, I don't think any of those times are going to fall up the front. So I think that, Fabian with a last-ditch attempt there. He's just popped it up into 6th position. So he's just getting himself up the front there to steady on. We've only got a couple of cars on laps now. I'm not sure they'll be able to challenge the front. Remo looks like he's just been balked a little bit there. Yep, that lap's done for. McFadden, he's still on one. He's about to cross the line. Can he go faster? And Oh, McFadden!
Oh.
Bang! Straight up to third position. And as I was watching that, Lee Crowther, which is more like what I expected, he's popped himself up in the 7th position. So I think that'll be our field for now, mate. Let's have a quick run through the field before we get to the racing action. We got Andre, Corks, McFadden, Junior Elliott, Astrop, Fergo, Fitness. Crowther's in there. He's just dropped out of the server. Brown, Grand, Salmon, Clerk, Priest, Rob with a 13th. That is an excellent effort for him. He will be absolutely stoked with that. Stadler, Hollyoak, the Holy Tree. Look at that, rocking that livery. Paul, love that Donut King one too. CA in the Gatorade car. Kingy, Bensley, Sullivan, Hare, Johnson, and Rogers. Well, Pete, I don't know about you, mate, but I reckon everyone, let's have a little break, go and grab a drink, and let's jump on into some action for your first race, which will be coming up in just a jiffy.
Motto is that safe drivers are lifesavers. If your organisation shares this belief and are planning to improve driver education in your community, SDT Simulator Driver Training has the solution. Many of our simulator users are also gaining a revenue stream by taking their simulators to events and schools for driver education programs. The system can also be set up to run motorsport simulation. Many leading racing drivers are now using simulators to improve their skills. Such software can also be used to show drivers they are not as skilled as they think they are. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customization for driver training. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Contact Simulator Driver Training for more information.
Well, I hope those beverages are full because we are in for an absolute ripper here. I reckon this will be the first time that some V8 Utes have seen to the racing tarmac here at Marina for actual race conditions. But while we've got a little bit of time before this race actually jumps into it, let's take a quick look at the running order. So it was Andre Elliott to take the pole position ahead of Tommy Corks in the Falcon, and then you've got Jason McFadden and then Cole Elliott to round out the second row. John Ostrop and Andrew Ferguson to round out the third row of the grid. And then it's the Thosa Camel in its natural habitat here on Yas Island in its 7th position ahead of Fabian Fitness. So then Zach Brown and Remo Grand to round out the final row of your top 10. And just missing out of our top 10 finish is Salmon here ahead of Dion as well. So we've got a few of the Speed Nation cars all right together as well, with Rob Priest up next, and then it's Sadler in the 13th position with Holyoke, and then Ezra Simons in the next row of the grid with the Donut King himself of Alan Paul as well. And then you've got Colton Atkins as well in 17th position ahead of Richard King in the Bob Jane Team Arch Commodore, looking absolutely brilliant. And then one of our sponsors of the stream, Sam Bensley here, go to ARD Importing if you ever want to hit him up. Plenty of good stuff there, but we're getting ready for a start here, Dino.
Yeah, mate, let's get a crack on here. I'm keen. No, we've had a meltdown here. Something has happened. We've gone back to a restart. There has been a race restart. I am unsure what's happened here, people. Cannot call what's going on. Something has happened. So we've gone back, but that's great. That gives me and Pete another chance to have a bit of a talk about these guys. I think Andre's going to be hard to catch. If he gets away on the front of the grid here, he is going to be a hard man to catch. But Junior, I think Junior's got everything to prove here. I think Cole will be absolutely gunning for it to take Andre. Jason, you can't throw out of the mix. And then right in the middle of that sandwich, we've got Corksy. And Corksy will absolutely have a shot. Astrop there and Ferguson. I love this field. I keep going up and down it. This is a class field of races. You got Crowther sitting there with Fitness beside him. So, I mean, this top 10 is going to be hectic, Pete. These guys, this is going to be nuts.
It is going to be absolutely insane. And one driver that I feel like is on for a really good result here is Tommy Corks. We saw him at Donington in our Enduro. He went for a different strategy. In the end, unfortunately, though, it didn't quite play out. He was trying to go for the one-stopper where his race rival in that one, Fabian Fitness, tried to go for, well, was going for the two-stopper, which proved to be, in the end, spoiler alert, the winning race strategy. Tommy Corks, though, tried to go off sequence, tried the one-stop, couldn't quite make it to the end, and had to come into the lane right at the guts of it and surrender what could have been a race win for himself. So, starting on the front row, Fabian Fitness, his rival from last time out, a little bit further down, I reckon he's on it for a really good shot here.
Definitely, these guys are on. We have a race start now. Let's switch to the cameras. This is going to be a start. We've got all the lights up. We're just waiting for the lights to go out. Let's see how this one pans out. And bang, they're off. It looks like Dre's got a good start there. Corksy wasn't too much of a slouch himself. They're going to even out here. Cole looks like he's got a good start. Is he going to throw it up the inside of Jason? He is not, as they all try to file through here. This is a tricky section to try and file through. Jason sitting on the outside. I'm not sure whether McFadden's going to be able to stay on that outside. He's not. He's going to have to let that go. Oh, he's still not. He is on the inside. He's going to hold that. Him and Corksy are going to go for it onto the main straight. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. He's had to file in eventually. And let's have a look up the field. Fergo seems to have got a good start. He's nice and clean. Fabian trying to shoot up the inside here straight off the bat. So he's trying to be a mover and shaker at the moment. How many positions can he get up? He's just misplaced Crowther. He's got him out of the way. In the back of the field, there's action aplenty. Have a go at that, Pete. What a field of cars.
What a field of cars we've got. And look at this, we've got a bit of slipstreaming happening down this straight now as we head into turns 6 and 7 here, the first of the chicanes at this circuit. And you can see a big, oh no, Tommy Corks has gone around. Your second place car has gone around and has dropped outside of the top 10 now. Finally finds himself back onto the circuit. But look at that, outside of the top 10, and is currently now nearly 4 wide, heading down at this next straight into turn 9. This could get messy, and I wonder if there's more to that story, because that is a very interesting spot to just lose the rear. It's very easy to lock up the rears in this car, and I reckon there was a little bit of contact just up ahead as well between McFadden and Ferguson, because there's a bit of tyre smoke. And look at that, this field is now really bunched up because I reckon McFadden, had a little bit of a touch-up going through turn 9, had to get out the throttle. Ferguson, it didn't take advantage of a little bit of a bump and run, has held position, but look at this for a field, battling it out for second, but Andre Elliott has bolted out to nearly 4 seconds on the opening lap, and look at Crowther go, he's on the power slide, heading through the next sequence of corners. That's turn 14, now heading into 15 as they exit for the hotel section of the circuit, and the Thirsty Camel has made it up a couple of positions.
Definitely, he's pushed it up there. He's got it up there nicely, but he's got a red-hot Fabian right behind him, and Astrop right behind him again. Crowther just looks a bit loose there on a couple of corners. I'm just seeing the arse of the car slide around. There's 2 cars into the pit. Not sure what's happened there. We might have had a couple of jump starts. I'd say that would be the case. So that's Clerk doing a tour of the pit, and with him is Joshy Sadler. So that is not great news for those boys. And we've had a position change here. It looks like Fabian's through on Crowther, and Astrop, he's a part of the party as well. He's been pushed wide. That's going to be a track cut, which is unfortunate. There was a little bit of door bumping there, but now we've gone 4 wide. 4 wide, we got Corksy. Corksy's going to throw that straight up the inside. He will want all those positions back, and he's going to try and do it in a couple of corners. Corksy is pushing. This man is on the charge. I just see Crowther zipping left and right there. What a view, these guys. Holy dooly, this track is producing.
It is producing way more than I could have ever thought, but what a recovery so far from Tommy Corks already, outside of the top 10, back up into 6th position. So he is doing magnificent wonders in his Falcon, and the red mist has ascended inside of the blue Falcon, you may say, particularly the racing Falcon, that is. He's just lost a position to Lee Crowther, though, because he may have tried getting the 4 for 1 there in going into the hairpin, but unfortunately for himself, he put the throttle down a little bit too early. He got out sideways, which gave Lee Crowther the run going down the main straight, and with a little bit of the side draft effect, was also able to get himself up alongside and then down the inside when they came into the turn 6 and 7 portion of the circuit, that little chicane. So he's managed to get that P6 back. But I reckon with the pace of Tommy Corks, it's not going to be long until he regains at that position. And it looks like maybe a little dive bomb might be on here, because it looks like he had a good run. Thinks better of it, doesn't go for it. It is a very challenging part of the circuit to try and go for a move, because you're trail breaking through there as the corner keeps on turning into itself and ever gets tighter.
Definitely, those corners, they tighten up real fast, and all of a sudden you end up on the blue stuff, or you end up in the gravel trap there, and that really slows the car down. Back up the front now, Ferguson seems to have got his stuff together, and he's back on the arse of Jason McFadden. McFadden will love that. He loves having a car right behind him. He will push. That will make him eyes forward and push on. But Elliott there, Cole Elliott, the junior, he's in there too. He's right on Ferguson's tail. So he'll be throwing Ferguson off a little bit. So Fergo at the moment in a bit of a sandwich situation there. He's looking forward, trying to get around McFadden. You'd want to get that move done quick, or Cole's just going to gobble you up. Astrop back here, he's trying to go around Grand, all up and down the field. These guys are tightening up, loosening. This is great racing that I'm seeing at the moment. Oh, there's a big hit. Brown, what happened then? I think he got sideways and got escorted, Pete. Is that what I saw?
I reckon he lost it all on his own. I reckon he just overcorrected and then launched it over the curves with all of the different layouts that this track offers. You can see that all of the different parts of the circuit there on the infield. So I reckon he's just tripped himself up, got a little bit sideways, overcorrected it, and then flunked sideways over those curbs, nearly flicked it up onto its side. Unfortunately, though, for himself, I think he's already waved the white flag, falling that far behind, and has now DNF'd from this first race here tonight. Still another one to come up later on, so stay tuned for that one. But look at this battle with Lee Crowther, because he's now lost the position to Tommy Corks while all of that is happening. But he hasn't fallen back too far, so if he can stay with Tommy here, he might be able to get a shot for out in front. But I think at the moment, Andre Elliott now with a 5-second lead, he is off into the sunset here at Yas Marina. And now, really, the race is on for second position, because you've got 3 cars battling it out for second, and then you've got a big train of cars not too far behind.
Mate, a big train, all right. I mean, this second, third, and fourth position, it's pretty highly sought after at the moment. These guys, I see the gaps come right down. So Cole now just trying to find a way past Fergo. It looks like he got up to him before, but couldn't find a way past. Dropped back a bit. and now he's back on the hammer. He's just trying to find a position here. He just needs to sit with him and see where he can go around. But in the background, I just noticed Corksy and Fabian, they are going at it. The gloves are off here. Corksy around Fabian, he's got that move done. So Corksy trying to capitalise on this and get as far as he can. Can you believe that man was just out of the top 10 not so long ago?
It's just insane, the pace that he's got. So I wonder how he didn't end up actually just getting a pole position. I reckon if the session was just a little bit longer and he was able to find a bit more of a groove in the qualifying, I reckon he had a good shot for the pole. But Andre Elliott has proven why he had the pole position, because he's bolted. But look at that gap. That gap out in front is closing it. It's already lost 0.6 of a second since the last time we checked. So that gap between Andre and Jason McFadden is slowly closing, but with 12 minutes left on the clock, is there enough time for the battle for the race lead to continue on? But Tommy Corks has only got 3 seconds if he wants to try and chase down Cole Elliott.
Yeah, definitely. If he can try and get there, I mean, he's got a real turn of speed as we go back up there. Let's have a look at this battle now with Ferguson, Elliott and McFadden. Ferguson right on Jason's hammer there. Is he going to go for a dive bomb here? He's throwing it to the side. He's thought better of it. He's just showing the nose and then tucked it back in to go through here. This corner's quite tricky to get an overtake done. You think it'd be easy at the end of that straight, but it's not. Jason's had a bit of a slide there. That's going to incentivise Ferguson. Fergo would have seen that. He'll be thinking, hang on a minute, I can have a go here. He's nice and close. Let's just ride with him down here. Let's see if he can get this move done. He's going to try and throw it up the side here. He's away, Pete.
Oh, and down the inside, he's going to give it a look. We've seen him already try it once before, and it didn't end too well because they both had to check up and to play on without taking any advantages from each other. But look at the pace that Cole Elliott's now found, because he's right there. Ferguson's put himself off the racing line, and that really opened up the door for Elliott to be able to slide on through as well. But look at this. They stay nose to tail as for now, and with the more times they battle like this, that's only going to bring in a Tommy Corks, the driver with the red mist that's ascended, ever closer. You can see him every now and again into the back of shot, and there he is once again right there. He can see this battle happening right in front, and he's going to see the delta on his screen as well start coming down. So that's going to incentivize him as well to try and get himself into this battle for what is the second position, because you can see that guy in front, Andre Elliott, has bolted. That gap is back over to over 5 seconds or so. He has picked up the wick just a little bit, but Tommy Corks, fastest man on track with a 2:11.6.
Yeah, he's coming, and he's coming at a great rate of knots. He'll be seeing all the battling up in front and thinking, I want a piece of that. Let's have a quick look out of Tommy's car now so he can see those cars. This is the view he will be seeing. This is what he has got eyes locked on. So he's seeing this battle happen up in front, and he will just want a piece of it. He will now try and close that gap and get up there, because these guys, they're not letting go of each other. Jason's just had a big slide, and that will let Ferguson straight through. There is a free kick. There you go. Don't even have to battle for it. Fergo will comfortably get this up the inside. This is done now. Oh, McFat, these guys, it's going to be tight. Who's going to go? Cole in the background there. He's going left, right. He's trying to figure out who he's going to back. Who's got the bigger balls here? Who's going to break the latest? They're both breaking. Jason's going to have to tuck that in. Fergo seems to have got that done, but Jason's going to have right away for this corner. Fergo's having a slide. This is not over. This is not over. And Elliott in the background there. Is Cole going to capitalise on all of these shenanigans?
He's definitely looking like he could capitalise on this as well. Ferguson has got the move done on Jason McFadden, but McFadden now, he was off the racing line and he got pinched on the apex at turn 7, which is the second part of the chicane, and that ruined his run down the straight. Unfortunately though, Cole also had a small moment, but look at all this battling. As I said just a lap or two ago, this battling is just going to bring Tommy Corks into it, and I was going to mention that while these guys are so close together, they can't break at their maximum performance, because you have to break just a tiny little bit earlier than your opponent. And look at the car behavior of Tommy Corks. He had it on the slide all the way through. He was power sliding it under the brakes to be able to point the car straight early enough to get it onto the throttle. Expect him to carve his way through the field with car control like that.
Oh, Corksy, he sat there long enough and watched it. He's now up on the back. I can't see him just sitting in behind and following the leader. He will try and push through all of these guys. I mean, this is an angry little battle pack. I can't stop focusing on it. There's not a lot happening all through the field. We will go through the field later, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, but Corksy's laid down another fastest lap as he's ranging up on the back of Jason McFadden's had another big slide. He just doesn't seem comfortable in that car tonight. That thing's been doing Beyonce impersonations all over the shop. He is sliding left and right. I just don't think he's comfortable behind the wheel, but that's just opened the door for Corksy. All he cares about is Elliott Jr. right now. He's just having a good look and he's sizing him up. He'll try and push that through as quick as he can. This little battle pack is angry.
It is a very angry. For Jason McFadden, he either tripped over the inside curb or even maybe made contact with the Armco barrier on the apex of the corner, because it was really strange the way the car just kind of bolted out sideways. But look at this, Tommy Corks, he's shown that he's really good under the brakes. I don't think he's that good under the brakes to make a move from that far back, but I am very happy to be proven wrong. And you can see that also, and just sitting him back, but it looks like Ferguson ran maybe slightly a little bit too deep, and you can see that's really tightened up his exit here and opened up the exit for Tommy Corks here. He's got a good run here on pole, so is this going to be yet another position gain for himself? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Corks was backwards on lap 1 at that very chicane, lost a heap of positions after being in second and qualifying on the front row of the grid, and is working his way from outside of the top 10 to now hang around the outside of Cole Elliott here. Is he going to be able to make this one stick? This will put him back up onto the podium positions with still 7 minutes left of racing. That's plenty of time for him to at least chase down Andrew Ferguson right there in front of him as well to try and get himself up to second position. But at the moment, he has to wait. But that's a mistake from Elliott, going wide. Corksy's all over it. Can he get the switchback done to try and get himself another overtake here? No, he looks to the outside. Is he going to dare get this one done, or is it going to be another switchback move? We'll have to wait and see in a couple of quarters' time. He's got it down onto the power. How is this one going to play out?
I've got no idea, mate. I'm holding my breath. They're slip sliding all over the shop, but somehow, Cole's just had to relinquish that position. He's just had to let him pass. I think he might have got a little bit sideways and a little bit too quick, and he's just had to back off and let Corksy pass. So this has now let Corksy off the leash, so to speak. He is going to go and track down Ferguson. Fergo will be looking in the rear vision mirror thinking, I don't want to see this. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about Corksy trying to track me down. There is still battles up and down the field as we go to 12th now. This is a Five Nation. Like, look at these guys. How is this? This is tight. 3 cars all in a row. We got Ezra. He's out in front. We got Rob. Rob's right behind him now. And then we got Salmon coming on strong. And Paul there. He doesn't give a stuff about the Nations cars. He just wants through. And hang on, there's been something else happen. Cole's dropped right off. That's let Crowther and Fitness in. Something's happened there. It looks like Elliott might have just had a moment on his own.
I reckon, right as we cut away, it looked like he used a lot of the curbing at turn 1. So I wonder if maybe he got some sort of shortcut penalty and he had to slow down for a split second, because that's the only real thing I can think of, unless he had some sort of technical issue with his sim rig or something, because he just slowed up on the exit. It looks like he still might have something going on. Maybe hit a curb a bit funny and it's done the suspension. That is something that can 100% happen on the Assetto Corsa simulator. If you smash the curbs a bit too much, it doesn't matter how good the car suspension is. Eventually, there's going to be some give in of the car's setup. But yeah, he's gone from battling for a podium now to trying to stay inside of the top 10, because this angry pack here, we thought the battle for second was angry. This one is really battling it out for the sheep stations because they're in the lower end of the top 10.
Definitely, something happened there in the background. Cole's got around there. He's managed to get that move done on Fabian, but he's not going to have the ideal line for this corner. He's going to have to he's still going to stay hanging fat around the outside. Is he going to hold on to it? He hangs on to it. That is an absolute classy move. He held on to that. I thought for sure Fabian would be able to nick up the inside, but I tell you what, it just didn't happen. I'm not quite sure what happened with Crowther there. He sort of backed out of it and let everyone pass, so there might have been a little bit of mischief happen there in the background that I didn't quite catch, and he's just done a bit of self-policing. But I mean, these things are starting to get loose now. Look at them sliding all over the shop. They're just trying to hold on to him. Let's have a run through the field, Pete. What do you reckon? We've got Andre in first.
I think we've got a battle for second now.
We do. Let's not go past this. Let's sit here for a second. I didn't see this coming, but I tell you what, I think you did, Pete.
Yeah, we're still looking at the battle in behind and up the straight. You can see them going side by side into turn 1. You saw the 2 rear ends of the Falcons right next to each other as they were trying to jostle for the position. Ferguson has been able to defend beautifully and still holds on to that second position, but it's going to be a tall order. He has got just under 4 minutes to hold this one on, so that's going to be a good couple of laps. But I think McFadden, the way he's power sliding that thing around, his tyres may be a bit cooked, so I think he's just in a bit of survival mode at the moment now, not letting Cole Elliott try and catch back up, because Cole Elliott's got himself back in front of that pack and is holding his own in front of that pack, but he's kind of towing the rest of the pack towards this battle up in front. But here comes Tommy Corks. Is he going to go down the inside? No, he just shows the nose to try and distract Andrew Ferguson. Does it work? No, Ferguson using all the curb available to him, but he runs it out a little bit wider. Tommy Corks using a tighter line. We've seen him do it all race so far, and it looks like he gets a good bit of traction coming out of there by using that alternate racing line through that chicane. But is he close enough for a move into turn 9?
Not sure if he's close enough this time. I tell you what, if anyone will have a go at it, though, it's Corksy. He's throwing it wide. I mean, how much wider do you need there? As I say, that's using the car park as well. He's got alternate lines, but I tell you what, they're working through that little chicane short section there. Corksy seems to get a much better run. Fergo now pushing really hard. He's seeing the danger. He's trying to stay on it, and Corksy's going to apply the blowtorch here like nothing else. He's just looking. He's showing the nose all over the shop. That's throwing Fergo off, I'm sure of it. Both of them are sliding. Both of them have got the arse of the car sliding around, but somehow we're still staying on the track. We're still keeping it together. I think this will be a move. We've got, what have we got? Just under 2.5 minutes to go in this one. And I think Corksy seems to have the pace here. He's just trying to pick his moment to fly on by. But all up and down the field, I'm seeing moves. I just saw Hollyoak went around Poole, and then Poole got back around, so there must have been a mistake going on there. So these guys still battling it out for sheep stations all up and down the field. King in 16th there. He hasn't really been troubled. He's not going to be troubled around it. Dion, he's back in 17th. I thought I would have seen Dion get back up there. He might be a little off tonight, but there's a little bit of shaking and rolling going on there. Adkins, we've got Adkins coming through. That's sideways. See, that's showing how loose these cars are. Sadler, he's still in it. Bensley and Johnson's still staying there, but let's jump back up the front. This is close again, Pete.
It is very close around the outside at turn 5. Can he get it done? He can't get it quite done, but he's going to try and get himself the better exit. And now he's got this really long back straight heading into probably the heaviest braking zone of the entire lap, going into turn 6, the chicane, and it's definitely much tighter than you think. You just think it's a right angle corner, but it is a bit more than that. It's kind of more like a U-turn. He looks to the inside. Is he going to have the braking power over Ferguson? No, Ferguson proving that he is a master under the brakes and he's able to park the car exactly where he needs to. But is this going to give Tommy Corks the run? Because look at this. The two racing lines that we have seen so different in so far this race are coming to play once more. Tommy Corks taking a little bit of a tighter line to open up his exit, and Ferguson really kind of surrendered his exit power there just to make sure he could hold the track position going through the chicane. But now this has opened up the outside for Tommy Corks here, but it looks like he may have just turned it in a tiny little bit too early. I wasn't expecting Ferguson to still be so far up the inside. But these guys battling it out has actually brought McFadden a little bit further into this battle as well. So he's only 1.7 behind. So if these guys keep battling it out, we're going to get, I reckon, there's just enough time for one more lap. But, oh, he's not going to do it down the inside there. No, he thinks better of it. But Ferguson's now run out wide. So around the outside, he's going to try it. He's going to try it.
He's got to have a go at this. I mean, I thought that move was on. I thought Corksy legitimately had the car up there, and then he backed out of it just to give Ferguson a bit of right away. So, I mean, me, myself, mate, I would have stayed in that one and gone, look, what will be, will be. But Corksy, probably a better man than me behind the wheel. He's thought better of it and thought, nope, I'll live on because there's one more lap in this race. So these guys, Corksy's got one more lap to get this done. I can't see many other positions changing around right now. Maybe Astrop, he's right on the back of Crowther down there. You just saw that in the foreground. So he's nice and close. So maybe Astrop, he'll be trying to go for that 8th position because everywhere up the field just gives you a few more points and just gets you further up there. It's a shame we haven't had time to, but I mean, to concentrate on this man, he's nearly 11 seconds out in front. He has absolutely blitzed the field tonight. What a performance. But ladies and gentlemen, this battle's not done.
It is not done at all, and as I said, these guys battling it out, slowing each other up. Look at this. This brought Jason McFadden back into the battle as well. So you got 3 cars battling it out for 2nd position. It's all to play for because McFadden could find himself back onto the podium here if one of these guys was to trip up. He's right there. Any small mistake is going to prove costly, and if it's a big mistake, look at that. Cole Elliott has also brought himself slightly back into this one. He's a few seconds behind. But if something major was to happen, he's well and truly in position to take some victories here as well. And once more coming out of the chicane there of turn 7, Tommy Corks has got a good run here, but we've seen Ferguson I think he knows the playbook of Tommy Corks now. He knows he's going to try and go for the outside. So you can see they're parking it on the white line, making sure there's no room for him to try and shove his way up the inside. Around the outside, Tommy Corks is going to look. Is he going to be able to make it work this time around? He's had several attempts. No, it doesn't work this time, but he's very good under the brakes. Coming up to this next section of corners of 15 and 16 is a very tricky braking zone. And here we go into it, because is he going to be good under the brakes? He's so good under the brakes through this section. No, he thinks better of it, but is this going to allow Ferguson to run out wide? Ferguson does run out wide. This may open up the door for Tommy Corks. How is this one going to play out for second position? Corks all over the shot, trying to get his way through, but I think that may be all she wrote with only 2 corners left remaining. But Andre Elliott, what a drive from start to finish, has absolutely blitzed the field by 12 seconds and takes the win for race 1 here tonight. Yes, Marina.
Oh, what a drive from Andre. Really had that one in the bag. Let's go back here. They're still battling across the line, but they closed up nice and tight. So we've got Ferguson holds onto it with Corksy behind him. Ferguson, what an effort. That man will be absolutely sweating bullets. He will have felt the pressure of that one. Corksy was right behind him. McFadden's got himself up into 4th. Elliott Jr., he managed to get into 5th. Fitness up into 6th. That man would have liked to have gone more forward than that. Remo 7th. Crowther 8th. Astrop 9th. Ezra 10th. Salmon. Priest. Rob will be wrapped with that 12th position. That's a great drive from Rob tonight. Paul held off Hollyoak. Not quite sure what happened there, but a gap opened up. Dion got himself into 15th. Sullivan. Sadler. King. Colton Atkins, he got himself up there in the top 20. That's not a bad effort in this car and in this group. Sam, good on you, Sam. He's got a 20th position. Johnson, 21st. Buck, he's got a 22nd. And Hare, he's got himself in a 23rd. Well, Pete, that had everything.
It really did. Andre Elliott smashed it by over 12 seconds. But I've just noticed the gap between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th separated by half a second, those 3 cars, as they cross the finish line. That was exciting. I am short of breath. I need a break before we head to the next race. But this has got chaos and awesomeness written all over race 2.
Definitely. This is going to be amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats and let's prep for race 2. We'll see you real soon.
Motto is
Motorsport isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And when performance matters, you need gear you can trust. That's where ARD Importing comes in. ARD Importing brings world-class racing brands straight to New Zealand, supplying real racers, real teams, and real enthusiasts with proven performance products around the globe. We're talking JRP racing components, Zamp helmets and safety gear you can rely on the track, Red Cat Racing for high-performance RC action and intimate brake pads for serious stopping power when it counts most. Keep your engine protected with renewable lubricants, premium oils designed for extreme performance and durability. Turn up the volume with Wicked Audio, delivering powerful sound whenever the road or track takes you. And gear up with Spartan products built for durability, comfort, and race day durability. Whether you're racing dirt, asphalt, or chasing lap times from home, ARD Importing has you covered. Sim racers as well. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen, because ARD New Zealand is your importing source for all of Camus Racing sim gear. Precision wheels, professional grade pedals, immersive feedback that puts you right in the driver's seat. Train harder, race smarter, and feel every corner. From real-world racing to the virtual grid, ardimporting.co.New Zealand connects you with elite brands trusted by racers worldwide.
Welcome back. We have got a race on our hands. If anything to go by from race one, we are in for an absolute treat, and I am ecstatic to say the least. I have no clue what's going to be in store for this second race, but let's do a quick rundown of the grid because we have now got Ezra Simons on the pole position with our reverse grid that we're running here for race 2, with Johnny Ostrop on the front row as well in the Coca-Cola machine. And then it's the Thirsty Camel of Lee Crowther with Remo Grand on the second row with him. Then Fabian Fitness and Cole Elliott will be looking to try and improve his position from 6th position. And then it is Jason McFadden, nearly got himself a podium in that last one, but Tommy Corks, what a recovery drive. He has to do another recovery drive this time around, starting from 8th with Andrew Ferguson right there as well. And your race 1 winner of Andre Elliott, can he go for the clean sweep here tonight? Because he's now got Salmon right behind him and Rob Priest as well in 12th position, with Alan Poole and Holyoke as well right behind in the very striking graffiti car in that Commodore. And then it is Dion and Sullivan rounding out your next grid, with Sadler and King, in 18th position. Colton Adkins and Sam Bensley from ARD Importing in 20th position, with Johnson, Rogers, Hare rounding out your grid here before this second race. Dino, what are we in for this time around?
Oh, I think we're in for all sorts of shenanigans as the lights come up. This one is going to be another cracker. I reckon I'll let you take this race, Star Pete. This one is all yours, my friend.
Alrighty, let's do this. It's race 2 of the night. It is lights out, and we are foot to the floor for this one here at Marina. And it is a very good start from Ezra here, and he'll cut across to defend his lead. But look at Johnny Ostrop. He does not want any of it. He's gone all the way around the outside. He keeps a nose in it. Can he hang around the next outside here, which is this left-hander? Because we'll give him the inside, and he's got it done. Johnny Ostrop to the lead of the race, but look further behind. It is absolute shenanigans. You've got Cole Elliott trying to make oppositions from his down the grid starting position with the reverse, but here comes Tommy Corks down the inside to make it 3 wide. As easy as you do it. How is this one going to play out? He's very deep on the brakes, gets it pulled up though somehow, and already finds himself now up into 7th position. But look at this, we have got a pack forming going down the main straight. This is going to be the big challenge though, because this is the biggest braking zone of the circuit, heading down into turn 6 now. Who's going to be brave on the cold brakes? Who's going to be a bit more conservative and maybe lose a position? Because look how defensive this is from Remo Grand here. Sorry, Ezra Simons it is. And because he is going to hold on to this second position unless Fabian Fitness has got something to do with it. Down the inside, Lee Crowther, he'll go. Doesn't get the position because he hasn't got the traction on the exit.
Hasn't got the traction. Remo in the background there, I just saw he's up the inside of Jason. He's got the optimal line for the next corner here. He's going to get this move done if he can just keep the power down there. Battles happening all up and down the field as the fast chargers are all trying to make their way through. This is going to be awkward. Jason's going to try and hang a fat around the outside there. Remo's going to try and hold on to that inside line, but I think Jason will get the run here. If he can stay off that ripple strip enough, he does. He's going to get the run into the right-hander, and behind him, Fergo's having a crack. Look at that. Ferguson won't pull out of this one. There's a bit of door bumping, bit of nudging, bit of carrying on, but he's, excuse me, Remo, I am coming through. While they've got traction in those tyres, they're still bumping. Remo's not going to let it go. He's going to try and hold on to that inside. If these guys, how they got through there without touching is beyond me. But lurking in the background, here he is, Mr. Corks, and right behind him is Andre. So the fast guys now trying to make their way through the field. Andre on Corksy, this won't be an easy overtake because Corksy has only got eyes forward.
No, it's not going to be easy, but I've also just noticed that don't think that because Johnny Ostrop got the pole position through the reverse grid that he is any slow driver. He is a very quick guy behind the wheel, taking the first race we got the season at Road Atlanta. He did in the Coca-Cola machine, but look at this. Despite still needing to try and get themselves through the field, Andre Elliott had a little look there to try and get by Tommy Corks, but Corksy did not have a bar of it. But Fabian Fitness is also trying to make some moves, because if he can get around Ezra Simons here and he swings it to the inside, that was very SVG-like, going light on the brakes to start with, swinging it back to the inside from the outside, a bit of a dummy move. He wasn't able to get it done. But that is a one to add into the Fabian Fitness Racecraft diary, and that is going to be something to think about if you're trying to defend from him, because he can now show that he will go any which way possible to make a move. But unfortunately for Fabian's sake, it did mean that he did not get the exit he probably required, and now he's under attack from Lee Crowther. But look at Tommy Corks in the background. He really swung it to the inside. But notably, Andre Elliott has got by him as well, and Elliott already trying to get himself around the next car, Rico Grant. But look at the exit. Tommy Corks has got the 3 wide going down the straight.
They are 3 wide, and Cole is right in this action as well. Look, Cole just sitting there in the background. Let's have a look from his view. Have a go at this. We are wheel to wheel. These guys banging doors. This is carrying on here. Remo's just had to back out of it. Andre's gone straight up the inside. Corksy's still holding that outside line. So Corksy now will be trying to hang on to the back of Andre and saying, drag me up the field, son. Let's go forward. Cole now, he's got up the inside of Remo. He's going to get this move done by the looks of it. If he can hold his line there, he's got one more corner. Remo's brake super late. Cole just looks like he's giving him a little touch, which has just sent him a little sideways there, just for a bit of good measure. Corksy still sliding that car all over the shop, trying to hold on to it. These guys, holy dolly, there is no quarter being given anywhere here. These blokes, they are hammering tongs into it.
They absolutely are, and this is exactly what we thought we may be in, based on what we saw in race 1. So far, not disappointing at all. And look at the gap ever growing. Every time we see this camera shot, it gives you a true indication of how far Johnny Ostrop's been able to get himself up in front. Nearly 5 seconds already. So this may be a repeat of what we saw from Andre Elliott in the first one. But Elliott made his way probably through the field that we thought he may have. And look at the alternate line from Tommy Corks, because both McFadden and Elliott started running it out wide. Tommy saw it coming and tried to switch it to the inside, and look at them all starting to get out sideways now. They're really starting to get into this. We're seeing a lot more sliding up and down the field. McFadden has gone super defensive, and he's got it all locked up, and he may go for a spin. He's held up Tommy Corks as well. Corksy kind of straightened out. Jason McFadden there, he went in super deep, locked up the rears, had it on the slide, managed to get it gathered up, but he's lost 2 positions in that.
Definitely lost 2 positions. I think Cole's got around him as well. So Jason with a big tank slapper, and now he's going to have Remo to deal with. Remo's come up fast on the outside here. Jason's going to try and hold this inside line, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to. He is. There's been a touch there. He's around. He's around, Pete. What has happened?
He got a bit of a tag from behind. I reckon, I don't want to throw names out there, but maybe one of the Rangiart cars that just tagged him on the quarter panel. We've said it all along so far this season. There's no weight on the rear end of these cars, so it doesn't take much of a tap for the car to go around. And these cars also don't have much of a steering lock to them either. So once it gets out sideways, it's extremely difficult to try and save it. So unfortunately for Tommy Corks, he's going to have to do yet another recovery drive. This time though, he's fallen even further down the field. He wasn't 16th last time. He was backwards. He managed to rejoin just outside the top 10. 16th is not just outside the top 10. And what a move this is going to be from Paul if he's able to get this one done. And he is going to get it done, but that was Holyoke out wide, and now Holyoke's been given the shove out by Priest, and he's going to lose the positions. And look at them all switchbacking each way in behind. That's Tommy Corks as well in the blue car, just kind of breaking up all the orange of the Speed Nation cars as well. So he's trying to make his way back through the field as quickly as possible. But look at this, Johnny Ostrop, your race leader, 2:11.4. So the pace is absolutely on. And here comes Tommy Corks once again down the inside. Is he going to get that one done on Holyoke? Yes, he can. You see him in the foreground of the shot. And he is back into now 13th position, but he should really be racing the guys up in 5th, 6th, and 7th position.
Definitely should be more up there, getting stuck into it. I just flicked to this for a second because there is some hell battles going on here. Andre trying to push his way through the field. He's just come up on the back of Ferguson. He's gone around Fitness. He managed to get that done. And then up the front here, Ezra and Crowther. Oh, this is going to get nasty real fast because everyone wants to go forward. And there's braking, there's brake checking, there's tapping. It's all going on right now. Andre will be hating this. He will want to just go straight through.
He is absolutely going to be wanting to go straight through, but that may be looked at by the stewards in this one. Lee Crowther, you may have seen, went super wide going through the S section of turns 3 and 4 there, rejoined and tried to go for the traditional racing line, but there was an Andrew Ferguson there already on that racing line and kind of gave him the squeeze, which kind of kick-started everything that we're currently watching now. So that might be something to consider coming into the next round. There might be something overhanging there for Lee Crowther in the first Camel Commodore, but the battle is still yet to be decided, because it's now Elliott versus Ferguson, versus Fabian Fitness as well, because Lee Crowther has kind of pulled out just a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, he's definitely got a lead there. He's out to almost 10 seconds. So I tell you what, position is king here. If you can get out in front and get a run, these guys will battle on, and that just gives you a good run. As Elliott now trying the switchback on Ferguson, it looks like he's got a run here, but he'll be on the outside. This is not where you want to be. And Ferguson, these two guys won't give each other an inch. They will stay there. They will both stay in it. But Fabian's licking his chops in the background there. He's thinking, I can just jump into this. He definitely wants to get in beat.
Yeah, absolutely. He's after winning the first one, he's going to be wanting to try and dispatch all of these guys as quickly as possible. But this is just the quality of the field, because even with the top 10 inverted, it is so difficult for someone who won the race by I think it was over 12 seconds if my memory serves me right. So dominated the first one, and he's struggling to get himself through the field. So it just shows the absolute high nature of this racing series to have that. Even in a reverse grid, they have to really work for it to get themselves back through the field, and Andre Elliott, I'm sure, is absolutely cooking himself, but he can't get by Andrew Ferguson, who ended up finishing second in that last one. So you got your first and second currently sitting in a position 4 and 5, and then the final person on the podium, Tommy Corks, after getting turned around, he is making his way through the field. He's currently in 12th, so he's worked his way from 16th.
Definitely, he's trying to come back up and through, but this little battle here, this is just good to watch, because Andre's going to try and make his way through. Fergo's done a bit of an unforced error there, just trying to defend his line a little bit too hard. But folks, while we've got a second here and we can have a moment, if you like what you see with the stream, like, subscribe, and get notified. Get with it, Sensational TV. If we don't bring the goods, I don't know who will. And then while I'm yabbering away, it looks like Andre's going to get this done. He's gone up the inside of Ferguson, so he's got this move done. Now he's set his sights on Crowther, mate. He's going to go for this.
Yeah, he's really going to go for it. Now he's finally got by Andrew Ferguson, which I think is going to be the biggest roadblock for himself, because Ferguson's showed that he's got pace around here as well. So he's now got himself by probably the biggest competitor that there is for him to get through this top 10. So now he can put his sights onto Lee Crowther, and you can see the different racing lines they're taking through this big sweeping at turn 9, which is really fascinating to see. And look at that. That was out wide for Ezra Simons there, and he's now got himself under attack from Lee Crowther going around the outside of this very tricky complex of corners. How's this one going to play out for the Birdman? He's going to get it done nearly with ease, but here comes Ezra shoving it back down the inside. And this is only going to incentivize Andre Elliott to try and get the 2-for-1 deal.
Oh, Andre will have a view of all of this, I'm sure of it. He's watching all the shenanigans and carry on here, and he's thinking, geez, I really want to go at this. This is getting exciting from these boys. Look at all the push and shove going on. There is action aplenty. Ezra, he's trying to back up the inside. Let's go back to the view here. We need to see what's going on. He's trying to back up the inside, but he hasn't got a good run. I think that'll give Elliott the run up the inside too now. Elliott's just moved it over, so he's right on Crowther. Is he going to go for the move here? Yes, he's going to go for 2 in 2 corners. Oh, he just backed out of that at the last minute, but that sent Crowther riding a little bit sideways. Ezra, the man as wide as a bus, he's still up the inside there, so everyone needs to be a little bit careful as to what's going on. And then in the background, I see Fitness here getting involved in it. McFadden and Cole, all of these guys now starting to bunch up. This is becoming angry real fast.
It is very angry, and this is probably one of the biggest battle packs that we've seen so far, and that's one of the Speed Nation cars, and now Fabian Fitness has gone for a spin. So he was a bit of an innocent bystander in that, because it was one of the Speed Nation cars having a moment of their own, and now they're crashing down the main straight. That was McFadden going around into the fence. What is going on? We were saying this pack is getting angry, but all of a sudden it's just exploded to the point where crashing down the main straight. What is happening? And this is going to be terrible for Jason McFadden, because coming into this round, he was 3rd in the standings, and not too far away, only 14 points adrift from the championship lead. So this is going to be interesting when it comes to the championship after this round, and I am sure there's going to be plenty to be said.
Oh, definitely. There'll be plenty to set on this one. I mean, these guys, they were battling hard. It was nice and clean for a while there. And then all of a sudden, all hell's broken loose. I see Jace flying off. I see Ez, and then poor Fitness. He's just been a victim of, he had nothing to do with it. And now everyone's starting to get a bit antsy. They're starting to push on a bit harder. Cole looks like he's done a great move here. He's just thrown that straight up the inside of Ezra. Mate, that's what you need to do. Get the move done and make a run. But Ezra, he's not an easy man. He won't give up. He will be up the inside in this next corner. You can bet your bottom dollar. He's still there. He's going to try and hold on to this. And then I just saw in the background a little glimpse of Tommy Corks. Corksy starting to come back through now, mate.
He absolutely is back inside the top 10 for Tommy Corks, and we know that this circuit was going to produce plenty of action, and down the inside Tommy Corks go. That's a move for the ages for himself there. Excellent one. And I was also going to take mention of that with the nature of this circuit, a lot of the corners flow into each other, and a lot of the corners are good overtaking opportunities as well, especially in these cars where you're not relying on any aero. The cars aren't very wide, so you can easily go 2 or 3 wide around the circuit. And, with the fact that they do flow into each other, it is very important that you make a move with conviction. If you don't make that move with the conviction that you need, just like Andre Elliott's about to do now with Lee Crowther, because he's going to go for the switchback and try and get the run on him. He hasn't been able to quite do it, so he hasn't been able to get that one as absolutely nailed as he would have liked. Very good defending from Lee Crowther as well, and this is for second position as well. So I reckon unless something major happens with less than 6 minutes now left on the clock, so that's going to be about 3 or so laps, Johnny Ostrup now with a nearly 14-second lead. He is absolutely out of here. Look, he's the entire next complex of corners ahead. That is his gap that he has got. Lee Crowther in second, Andre Elliott currently rounding out the podium, but you've got three or four cars here battling it out to try and get themselves onto the podium. But look at this. The Tommy Corks, we thought that move was done on Remo Grand, but Remo not letting that one go.
Definitely not letting that go. And there's battles all up and down the field now. As Sadler and Paul, they've ripped the gloves off. These guys are going to go hard at it. And Fabian there, he will have the red mist. He will just try and push it up the inside. He won't care. But let's go back up the front for a second, because Andre and Crowther, this is still a tight battle. Also want to send a thank you out to YouTube land there. I'm seeing the super chats. They're much appreciated. I hope you guys are enjoying what you're seeing here. We're trying to put on a show as Fitness has just gone around Paul, so he's now got his sights set on Sadler. So now the action is starting to come. We've got under 5 minutes to go here. The boys will all now start to be trying to change. He's got around Sadler. He's got that move done. Bang. Fabian, nice and authoritative as always, puts a move on, round he goes, and off he goes. So this is now starting to come on strong for the end of this race. Andre now back up the front. He's right on the back of Crowther. He won't be happy with the third position. He'll at least want a second. I don't think he'll be able to make up that 14 seconds, mate, unless he grows a set of wings.
He'll need to grow a big set of wings. Maybe a Red Bull sponsorship needs to be on the cards for Andre Elliott here, but enough with that, because look at this. He has now got his eyes set on that thirsty camel just in front. He's going to have to try and get himself over the humps of the camel's back, though, to be able to get himself through into the second position, because Lee Crowther is no easy driver of the pass. He knows exactly how to defend, and you can see him taking that defensive line. But how is Andre going to play this one? Is he going to go for a switchback, or is he going to try and open up an exit here? It's all going to be told in just a few moments' time, and look at that. It is indeed the exit that he's after, and now he can try and pull himself up side by side, and it looks like he might even have a little bit of a run here. And you can see that on the timing tower, the positions are changing, so he has got a fantastic run here. How is he going to go under the brakes? It's going to be a game of late braking. Who's going to be braver? Who is going to be the last to slam that pedal? And it looks like Lee Crowther has gone super deep, but how is this going to play out? Because now Elliott's gone for the crisscross. Now he's got the outside line. Can he put the power down quick enough? He's on the slide, and they continue to go side by side.
Oh, this is never ending. It looks like he'll get the move done here on Crowther. I'm not sure if he's got overlap. He's definitely got the overlap. And Crowther, he's moved back over to the left-hand side and gone, no, this isn't done yet. I'm not finished with this little battle. Second place proving to be quite a trophy at the moment. They're battling hard for this one. Crowther now up the inside. This is going to give Andre a bit of a run on the outside. There's a bit of a touch, so we're touching and bumping, but I tell you, it's all pretty clean till now. Andre now back up the inside. He's going to try and get this move done. He just needs to plant the car in front of Crowther, get a good break, and make sure Crowther checks up behind him, and he seems to have got that done now. So now Andre's been released, so I don't think he'll catch Astrop, but geez, I'm keen to see how much time he can take out of that. Take note, people, he's 14.8 seconds behind at the moment, so let's see how much ground he can make up. But the battle is still on. I still wouldn't hang my hat on what the top three is in this one, because Fergo, he's seen all the action here. This has got him all excited, and I bet he's thinking, yeah, I could have a bit of a podium myself.
Yeah, why not make it back-to-back podiums as well? It looks like Andre Elliott's definitely going to go for at least back-to-back podiums. I'm sure he would have loved the clean sweep of wins, but it looks like Johnny Ostrap has got that one absolutely sealed up. But Ferguson currently sitting fourth. Has got Lee Crowther currently holding that final podium-paying position, and you can see Elliott already pulling out the gap to secure his second position. But look at the slide from Ferguson. These cars in the dying stages of this race are going to be an absolute handful, as if they were not already a handful to drive if you've got as much grip as possible given to you with the tyres that these cars run. And he's going to look around the outside. Crowther's got the slide on the exit. How's this one going to play out? I thought there was going to be a slight little touch there on the exit, because the track kind of is a little bit weird. It kind of narrows up a little bit on the exit of the corner, and you can see the line, the straight may be straight, but the lines that define the track limits are not, which can make it a little bit awkward sometimes when you're trying to race side by side down here, because the track is always moving which way direction. But around the outside, Ferguson's going to try and go. Can he make it to the inside, the next part of the chicane? He really tries to. A tiny little touch on the exit. You can see Crowther, he had to throw a heap of opposite lock on it to try and keep it pointing the right way around. Tommy Cork's in the background making the move on Dion Clerk as well, to try and get himself now up inside the top 7, and he has done so successfully with 45 seconds left on the clock. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Cole Elliott, but he's going to give it a good red-hot crack. And we saw Jason McFadden not too long ago in the fence on the straight after the exit of turn 5. Some sort of chaos evolved in that giant battle pack. He's worked his way back to 13th position, but that is not going to be a big heap of points for himself. Here you go, Ferguson trying to make it around the outside. Is he going to pull this one off? This has proven to be quite the overtaking zone, but he hasn't been able to get it done.
No, definitely hasn't been able to get it done. A little bit of a slide there, a little bit of a tail wag on the way out. That's not going to help. But I tell you, Crowther's on the slide. That's going to give Fergo a little sniff here. He's going to think, geez, I'm on. I'll be able to throw it up. So now we're starting to get onto it now. We're going to have one more lap after this. I just saw Astrop. He's rounded the corner. The timer is counted down. So Fergo, he's going to get one more lap to try and get this done. Can he get around Crowther? Easier said than done. Crowther driving the absolute wheels off this thing. And then in the background I see Elliott Jr. He's all over the back of Simons now, so this is on. These guys, no one is going to give any quarter here. This is going to be a battle to the absolute finish. But up and down the field there's battles. McFadden now trying to put a move on Paul. He's trying to recoup as much as he possibly can, because all this guy's thinking about is the championship. Paul there running a bit wide. These guys, this is looking dicey, but Paul thought better of it and just got out of it. He's gone, way you go, Jace. That's probably a much safer move to make there right around the outside. But the battle's still happening. Cole there, still close on Simmons. Ferguson, he is close now. We're a 100th away, mate. These guys into a 10th away. Sorry, these guys into it. Fergo, but he still hasn't got that optimum line. He needs to get over to the inside here to make this stick. I think Crowther will be able to hold it.
He's going to have to hold it. He's going to have the defensive line on the inside, but is he going to run it super deep? We saw him run it super deep last time around, but look at this. Ferguson's able to actually get a really good run around the outside. It's going to give him the inside. Is he going to shove Lee Crowther out onto the stuff where he can't put the foot down to the throttle? And that is exactly what's happened. Where has Lee Crowther actually gone? There he is. He's fallen back quite some margin. So on the final lap, he may have thrown away a podium or even a top 5, because look at this. He's now got Ezra and Cole Elliott all over the back of him. Ezra's actually going to get the position away. What's Cole going to be able to do? He's looking down the inside. Lee Crowther's going to try and split between the two, but look at the line. They're 3 wide on the exit. How is this one? They're going to play out. This is for 4th position. They're still going side by side. I'm sure Cole Elliott's going to try and shove his nose in somewhere, and it looks like he will. down the inside, but Lee Crowther's trying to hang it around the outside of Ezra here. How is this one going to play out? It's all getting a little bit messy, and there may have been contact there just a little bit on the apex, because that really tightens up as well. And there's more contact. Lee Crowther's gone around, and look at this. The C's are parted for Tommy Corks. He's going to get another lot of positions. That puts him now up to 6th place. John Ostrop, we've missed it. He's crossed the line to claim a brilliant race win by 13 seconds. So Andre Elliott definitely put the wick out to get the fastest lap as well, to pull it down to that 13. It was 14.8 when he finally got to let loose in 2nd position. Ferguson will hold on to 3rd. Ezra 4th, Cole Elliott in 5th, and Tommy Corks doesn't get that final paying position in to get 6th position. So pretty good recovery from being at the lowest 16th. Dion will round out 7th. Lee Crowther, after that spin, not too bad to still hold on to an 8th. And then Remo Green and Fabian Fitness round out your top 10.
And then we've got Hollyoak in 11th. Then McFadden. McFadden with a good drive there to get back up into 12th position after all those shenanigans. Paul in 13th. Sadler 14th. 15th was Salmon. Hare up to 16th. Rob up into 17th. Priest, he's got himself back up in 18th. Kingy, he's back up into 19th. Bensley, and let's say it right, people, it's ARD Importing. I may have got a little wrong in the previous race. Great drive there. He's got himself up into 20th. Colton's left the server. Not sure what's happened there. Rogers, Buck. Sorry, Buck. He's got himself up into 22nd. And 23rd is Johnson. That race produced.
It absolutely did. If race 1 was already chaotic enough, they really turned things up in race 2. And Johnny Ostrop took full advantage of starting on the front row of the grid to claim a very, very commanding race victory. And this is going to do well for his championship hopes as well, because this now makes it his 2nd race win of the season. So he is on some fine form at the moment.
Definitely on fine form. This man with a great drive tonight. So this, I mean, it's just had everything. This has had absolutely everything. I cannot believe what we've just bared witness to. Andre, definitely the driver of the day at the moment. What he has done today, this man has had it all going on. I don't think there's any denying that, is there?
Absolutely not. To get a race win as commanding as he did in race 1, and then be able to fight his way through the field, a very tough and very high quality field that he is, to get himself from 10th up into 2nd, and despite all the chaos that we saw, managed to keep his nose clean to get himself that 2nd position. So very well deserved driver of the day for himself, and that was also in race 1, his first race win of the season. So he's going to be very happy to get at least that one race win of the season. It ticked off. It's a very long season coming up ahead, so every point will matter.
Oh, definitely every point will matter, mate. I mean, these guys, they're pushing for every point they possibly can. A few mentions tonight. Fergo putting a battle on there. That man absolutely went to war. Ezra, as he always does. Elliott Jr., great drive as well. Corksy. I mean, what can you say about this man? He plowed back through, had a bit of bad luck there. Clerk did a great job. Crowther, Fitness, not sure how he'll be tonight. He'll probably be a bit neutral after the whole thing. Jason had terrible luck there, but I mean, it just had action aplenty. I cannot believe what we've just bared witness to.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. I reckon, just back to Tommy Corks, I reckon if he just has a little bit of luck, I reckon he's going to be one of those drivers that no one's going to be able to touch in a race. He's going to have, eventually, at some point this season, a race like we saw a Andre Elliott and Johnny Ostrop have, where he just takes the lead and he is absolutely gone. See you later. He could have very nearly won last time out in our Enduro at Donington Park, but the day's going to come for Tommy Corks to get a race win. It's only a matter of time, and I think we both know it.
Definitely, mate. He's on. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Don't miss next Tuesday. We have the Red Bull Ring. Now, if there's a track that delivers, that's it, Pete. That's the track.
Absolutely. It's the land of lager, some may say, the Red Bull Ring in Austria. So it's going to be a very good race. One of my personal favorite tracks in the entire planet. So it's going to be a very good, fun one. And I reckon with what we've seen, I reckon the Formula One tracks may be the go for these V8 brutes. Big, heavy braking zone, flowing corners, and low grip cars seems to be the perfect recipe.
Definitely. They have delivered tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you like what you've seen. I hope you've had a great time tonight. I certainly know I have. Pete, have you had a good time tonight, mate?
I've had a fantastic evening. Thank you very much, Dino, for allowing me in the box with you.
Mate, thank you as always for jumping in. And ladies and gentlemen, until next Tuesday, remember, keep it flat out.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.